Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. Today we're going to answer the question, what do you do if the real estate investor that you're talking to who's interested in purchasing your rural vacant land, what happens if they're not answering your questions? Okay, it seems like kind of a silly question, right? And the reason I'm bringing this up is I was talking to a young lady who we're in discussion right now about selling several properties that she's got. And the comment that she made to us was that she had talked to a couple other people and they were not answering her questions that she had, and she felt really uncomfortable with them. And the first thing, I don't know about you, the first thing I think of when somebody is evasive or they won't answer my questions is I immediately think they're being shady. Are they trying to scam me in some way? Now, that may not necessarily be the case. There could be some other scenarios. Maybe they don't want to explain to you how their business works because they're afraid that you might back out. Maybe they don't know what they're doing in that area, or they just don't know about a certain thing that you're asking them. There could be different scenarios, but those could all potentially be red flags, right? So you as the land seller, you have an option of where you're going to go when it comes to selling your property. One, you can just hold on to it and not sell that property. You could always list it with a realtor, and there's risks to that too, and there's a cost as well to listing with a realtor. Or you could work with other real estate investors. I'm sure you're receiving lots of mail, letters in the mail with offers to purchase your property. Okay, so you have all these options. It's important that you feel safe in a transaction when you're working with a real estate investor. Okay, and so if they're not answering your questions, you have every right to walk away and find somebody else who is willing to answer your questions. Okay, you should feel comfortable and you should feel safe in the transaction. Here at TB Properties Buys Land, one of the ways that we try to make sure that our clients feel safe when they're selling their vacant land to us is, one, we try to make sure that we have a very easy purchase agreement. We want to make sure that you don't feel like you have to hire a lawyer in order to understand it. Okay, so make sure you know what you're signing. We always close to a title company because we know it's going to be a safer way of transacting. You don't have to be worried that we're going to write a check that's going to bounce, or that we're not going to give you a check, or you're going to have the property sold out from under you. When you work with a title company, just like when you're buying or selling your home, we both have to have our paperwork in to the title company. They're a good third-party intermediary. They're not going to do anything until they have the paperwork, until they have our money. And our money has to be certified funds from a bank. So they're going to be bank wire or a cashier's check from the bank, a bank check. Okay, and we cover all the closing costs, and we state that very specifically within our contract. So, I can't speak for everyone who's worked with us, but we try very, very hard to make sure that all your questions are answered, that you feel 100% in charge of the situation, that you feel like you have the right to ask those questions, to get the answers that you need, to be able to contact the title company with any questions directly, and that you know where everything's going. But do understand that you have the right to ask these questions and get answers that make sense to you. So if you have any questions about how we as TB Properties Buys Land purchase vacant land all across the country for cash, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you, answer any questions that you might have, put you in touch with the title company that we're going to work with, all of those things. I hope this answers some questions for you regarding moving forward with a land investor, and that you do have the right to feel like that you're in charge when it comes to selling your land. Thanks again.